keep or sell. Now, I feel awful doing this video after we've just gotten promoted, but obviously we all know that the players know as well that some players will have to go or be benched, because obviously us going up in the Premier League now, we need to take things a lot serious and get some players who got experience, because let's just admit we have got a very young squad in Sunderland. So however, let's get on with it. Starting off with Anthony Patterson. Now, obviously he is a keep, because honestly the saves what he has made this season has been absolutely astonishing. Honestly, he has saved with over them 2 legs against Coventry and that fantastic save against Sheffield United. He's the reason why we have got promoted to the Premier League. If it wasn't for that save, honestly, I think it could have been about 2-3-0 to Sheffield United. Obviously in the game we didn't play the best, but the last 15 minutes we did play great. But honestly it was all down to him and obviously a couple of players. So for me, it is a definite keep. Simon Moore, right? What a keeper he is. Honestly, obviously, if you know, when Anthony Patterson was injured, Simon Moore did come in for about 1 or 2 games. He hasn't seen a lot of game time this season, but when he has came on, he has been absolutely impressive. Honestly, halfway through the season, Sunderland fans were calling for Simon Moore to play over Anthony Patterson, because obviously over mistakes and all that from what Anthony Patterson has made this season. But yeah, he's a brilliant second goalkeeper for us. So yeah, it is a definitely keep. Niall Huggins, I would personally sell, because obviously last season I thought he was an absolute brilliant player, but this season we haven't not seen him not once on the pitch. He hasn't even played for the under-23s or anything this season. I don't know if he's been injured or he just hasn't been selected for the first team. But yeah, this season he hasn't been seen once on the pitch or on the bench or anything. So obviously if we can clear the wage bill and we'll get around about 500,000 to £1 million, obviously it's not much, but it's still something. So yeah, it's a definitely sell for me. But like last season I thought he was absolutely brilliant, but for some reason it just hasn't worked out for him. So yeah, it's probably a definitely sell. Dennis Serkin, absolute unbelievable season he has had. Obviously, in my opinion, I do really think he is overrated, but for me is a keep, because obviously I think he is going to be massively overrated for the Premier League. I don't think he's good enough. I think he proved that against Sheffield United in the playoff final. He just kept on losing the ball so many times, and it may have been done with the pitch. I do not know, because obviously if you know that Wembley pitch is absolutely huge. It's bigger than every single probably pitch in the AFL. So yeah, for that, I think it's a definitely keep, but it'll be a good backup. He'll be a good backup for whatever player comes in. Obviously, you all know Leo Gelder as well is a backup to Dennis Serkin, but I think next season, Dennis Serkin will be seeing a lot of the bench. But yeah, for me, it's a definitely keep. Now, the monster himself, Dan Ballard, what an absolute sensational centre-back he is. He's got everything. He's got strength. He's positive every time he's on the ball. Obviously this season he hasn't seen a lot of game time, because obviously he's been set back with injuries, but every time he has come back, he's just absolutely wowed every single fan in the stadium. And obviously that goal against Coventry, it's just made him an absolute legend of the club already. But yeah, for me it is a definitely keep. He will be in the starting lineup next season for me in the Premier League. But yeah, absolute sensational season. Obviously we will be getting another centre-back in, but for me, he definitely keeps his place in the starting 11 for next season. Mr. Sunderland himself, Luke O'Nien, what an absolute legend he is for this club. Honestly, he has been with us since the League One days up until now, and now he is Premier League with the club. He's been here for 6 years now, and honestly, there's no words for him. He's an absolute legend. Do I think he'll be here for the Premier League? Yes. It's a definite keep for me. He'll be a good backup. I don't think he will be good enough for the Premier League. Honestly, I may get it wrong. He is strong on the ball. He sorts out the defence, but for me, obviously, we need to start choosing players who will be a little bit stronger and a little bit younger than him. But obviously, he does bring the experience, and obviously, with his leadership going into the Premier League, he can add that to the younger players who will be playing maybe ahead of him. Maybe he will get into the starting 11. Who knows? But yeah, for me, he definitely stays. Chrissy Metham, what a player he has been this season. Honestly, I thought he was just going to be I thought he was going to be a backup for Ballard and Luke O'Nien, but obviously with Ballard being injured most of the time this season, Metham's took his place in the squad and he's been absolutely sensational. Obviously, he is on loan to us right now. We haven't signed him permanently, but obviously we will probably make it permanent. And when the transfer window opens, yeah, there's no other words from him. He's been absolutely sensational. Will he get into the starting 11 next season? Definitely yes. I think him and Ballard are absolutely brilliant. I think obviously in the playoff final, they did make a couple of mistakes. The whole defence did. But yeah, for me, he definitely gets a place in the starting 11 next season, obviously, if we do keep him. Another defender who hasn't really seen much game time this season, Jensen Sealed. Yeah, I'd sell up. I can't really say much about him. I haven't seen him at all this season to say that he deserves a place in the Premier League or to deserve a place on the bench for next season. For me, it's definitely a sell. It'll clear the wage bill, and maybe we can get around about £1 million off him. We won't get much, but it's still definitely something. There's no other words I can really say. To be fair, he hasn't seen game time this season, and if he did, maybe he would have changed my mind. Maybe he could be a good backup to Ballard and Methven, but yeah, he's always going to be 4th or 5th choice centre back if he does stay. So for me, if we sell up, or even just let him go on a free, it'll clear the wage bill for other players to obviously come in and take his place. My player of the season, Trey Hume. Yeah, and there's no words for him. Yeah, he definitely stays. He's been absolutely outstanding all season. I think he's got 4 goals and 7 assists or something like that. It's something like that, but he has been absolutely outstanding. It's not just the assists what he's got or anything like that. It's the way how he controls the ball. He's just been outstanding all season. For me, he's Sunderland's player of the season by far. Honestly, he's played nearly every single game this season. He's not made one mistake for her. He's took his place well, and yeah, for me, he deserves a lifetime contract in my opinion. Not only does he get a place in the Premier League team next season, right? Honestly, he'd be absolutely sensational. If Sunderland do end up getting relegated back to the Championship next season, because yeah, we're probably favourites to go back down because we just haven't got the squad. But obviously, yeah, I think he will go to a Premier League club if we go down again. Anyone would be lucky to have him. I think he could walk into a Man United team, in my opinion. Yeah, for me, it's definitely keep. Another player who hasn't really seen much game time this season, but every time he has come on, he has took his place really well. Leo Hagelda. It's a definitely keep for me, but he will be a good squad player. Obviously, next season he will probably come off the bench, and obviously this season, what Reggie's done, if we've been winning 1-0 or something like that, and it's the 90th minute, he's been brought on to just add some extra strength at the back to see the game out. He can play centre back or left back. Obviously, he is a backup to Dennis Cirkin, so yeah, it's a definitely keep for me. There's no questions asked. Every time he's played, he really has impressed us this season. So yeah, he does keep his place in the squad, but obviously on the bench. Adji Elise, for me, it is a sell. I just don't think he'll get a place in the squad next season. I don't even think he'll see the bench next season. Obviously, we will be bringing new players in, and when he has been playing for this season, I just think he's been making mistakes. And obviously, he has had an injury setback. That's why we haven't seen him this season hardly. He has had around about a good 10 to 15 games played, but every time I have seen him on the pitch, he just hasn't done much for me to say keep him on the bench for next season or just keep him as a squad player. For me, clear the wage bill up, get around about £2 or £3 million off him. He is a good Championship player. I really do think he'd be a good Championship player for a club like Preston North End or something like that. But yeah, he just won't see much game time or even on the bench next season. So for me, definitely sell. Joe Anderson, another player. He's a bit like Jensen Seal. He just hasn't seen the pitch this season. I think he started 1 game, and I think he came off by half time. He just hasn't really had the chance to prove himself on the pitch. So if we clear another thing again, if we clear the wage bill up, bring some new players in. But yeah, good luck to the lad though. I really do hope he gets his career after a start. I do think I even said at the start of the season, I think he's been sat on the bench. He's sat on the bench loads of times this season, so I don't know why Reggie didn't give him a chance. But yeah, for me, if he's not going to get the chance on or off the bench, then we may as well sell up. Job Bellingham, it is a definitely keep. There's no questions asked about it. He's played every single game this season mostly. He's been absolute phenomenal. Obviously, he's played out of position this season, right? Because obviously with Enzo and Chris Rigg taking his position, obviously Job, I've always said Job's better as an attacking midfielder kind of role. Obviously last season he got 7 goals, I think. But obviously this year I think he's only got 2 or 3 goals. That's because obviously he has had to play like a central defensive midfield kind of position player. But yeah, for me it's definitely a keep. There's no questions asked about it. This player will go far in the future, but obviously right now there is talks about him going to Frankfurt or Leipzig or I think Dortmund was it. I think them 3 clubs. I think right now as we speak he's in Frankfurt just talking to other clubs right now, so I don't think he will be here for the Premier League next season. It is quite sad because at the end of the day, like, why wouldn't you want to stay like at Sunderland to play in the Premier League? But the German league is just as good as the Premier League in my opinion. Obviously we've seen players in the past develop from there. You've got Jadon Sancho, Florian Wirtz, even his brother Jude Bellingham. So yeah, good luck to the lad if he does like leave, but like I said, we all do want him to stay. Alan Brown, oh mate, he's probably been the weirdest player for me this season. Obviously he's been injured a couple of times this season, but for me I would personally sell him on. I just don't think he'd be good enough for the Premier League. Yeah, when he has played though this season, he's been playing left back and midfield. He has played pretty well for being he is a Championship player though. He's not a Premier League quite kind of material kind of player. But if we do end up keeping him though, he will be good at coming off the bench. So say if we're winning a game and we've got to just put him on like as a defender, then he'd be good for that. But yeah, if we can clear the wage bill, get around, we could get at least £1 or £2 million off him. We did get him on a free transfer, so at the end of the day, it's a win-win, really. Salis Abdul Samad, yeah, he hasn't seen much game time this season. Obviously, he did have that injury what set him back from August, from the very start of the season until January. I think he made his debut against Stoke City. He looked impressive against Stoke City, but yeah, for me, I wouldn't buy him. I'd just send him back to I think it's Lens where he come from. Yeah, for me, he just hasn't been impressive for me to say that he deserves a place like next season, like either on the bench or like in the starting 11. Maybe he could improve. I reckon he could be an actually good performer, to be fair, because when I have seen him play, he has looked a little bit positive, but he's lost the ball many times as well. So yeah, he's another weird player. I can't really get my head around him. So yeah, it's definitely time to send him back to his old club. But thanks again for your service. And Alexic, yeah, I'd keep, but I'll send him on loan. He's only 19 or 20-year-old. He's still a young player. I think he's got loads of potential. Obviously, we bought him for, what was it, £3-4 million, so he must be a decent player. But yeah, for me, I'd keep him, but I'd send him out on loan. So I'm going to just put an X and a tick beside him because I can't really say that he deserves to leave and I can't really say he deserves to stay. Yeah, he hasn't seen much game time. Every time he has played, though, I think he's been absolutely exceptional. And honestly, I keep saying to my pals who I sit next to at the stadium, I keep saying to him, when's he going to give Alex such a chance? He is a decent player, but yeah, for me, it's keep, but I'd send him out on loan to just give him a little bit more experience. Captain Dan Neil, yeah, keep him, yeah. I think he'll be coming off the bench or next season. I just don't think he will be good enough for the Premier League. It's going back to the playoffs. I think that's the worst game he's ever had, to be fair. I think it's same again though. I think it's got to do with the pitch. It was too big. It's too big of a pitch for Dan Neil to play on. Obviously, Premier League pitches are quite big as well, so I think we should keep him. But I do reckon he will be coming on and off the bench sometimes. I don't think he will remain Sunderland captain for next season. I just don't think. I think Luke O'Nien will take his place back as captain, even though I did say he'll be coming on and off the bench as well. But yeah, to definitely keep. He's only a young player at the end of the day. He's still got loads of years ahead of him. So yeah, to definitely keep for me. The Mag/Mackem Chris Rigg, yeah, he's a Mackem through and through. No arguments about it. It's a definitely keep for me. Yeah, he's got potential ahead of him. Obviously, mate, big clubs have been after him for absolute ages now. Liverpool, Man City, you name it, everyone's been after him. At one time, he was on the radar for Real Madrid. So yeah, for me, it's definitely a keep. But obviously, if we do go down next season, he will probably want to leave Sunderland to try and go a bit further in his career. So yeah, I think next season, he may be away next season, but yeah, for me, it's definitely keep. I think he's another player who could be on and off the bench, but he could keep his place in the Premier League. Who knows? He's never played Premier League football before, so it's going to be a little bit weird to say that is he going to be good for the Premier League? Is he just going to be like a Championship player? But at the end of the day, yeah, if not, I'd send him out on loan to a club just to give him that experience. But yeah, it's definitely for me. It's definitely a keep. But yeah, I think about 1 or 2 seasons, I think we could get at least 30-40 million off him if we do go down. So for me, it's definitely a keep for now, but we will come back in the future to see what happens. Enzo, now a player who I didn't rate at the start. I thought he was just overrated. I think he came to this club with hype about him, and he just hasn't really delivered. But against Sheffield United in the playoffs, he was absolutely sensational. But yeah, for me, we should sign him permanently. I think we do sign him permanently. I think that was on his close deal. I think if we do get promoted, we do need to sign him. So that, I think it is a good shout. Obviously, he has been playing out of position loads of times this season because of injuries, what we had with Mundell and whatever else. He hasn't played that position really well, but against Sheffield United, when he played in centre attacking midfield, he just looked a whole different player. He looked absolutely sensational to play. Yeah, and that's why I think we're scored for, because obviously it gave Roberts space, and then Enzo was running through the middle. He gave him more space to like pass out wide and whatever else. So yeah, I think he will add some spice into the Premier League next season. So to definitely keep. Wilson, he said, oh, yeah, definitely keep for me. I think he could take the Premier League by storm next season. I think obviously this year, when he did sign in January, he has only scored once or twice since February, March time. But yeah, I actually do reckon he could become a good goal scorer for Sunderland. But I reckon he could be a player who will be coming on and off the bench, so like a backup striker to Eliza Mayenda. But yeah, I reckon he could actually score goals in the Premier League. He's got everything about him. He's got pace. He's scary when he is on the ball. He can shoot. The only problem with him, he can't take penalties. So yeah, for me, it's definitely a keep. No, we're not going to get rid of him, so definitely a keep for me. But he will be coming on and off the bench. Ahmed Abdullahi, yeah, it's a keep for me. I've never seen him play. Like honestly, I can't question him, because at the end of the day, he has been injured this season. So for me to say we should get rid of him, it'll be a little bit harsh, and for me to say keep him would be like a little bit weird for me to say. But I'd definitely keep him. But I think next season he will be playing a lot of football for the under-23s or even the under-21s at this rate. I think he is only like 20-year-old. So when he first came to the club, his stats looked amazing from where he came from. Obviously, he didn't really play first team football for the first team where he came from. I can't remember where he came from, to be fair. But yeah, for me, it's definitely keep, but he will be playing a lot of under-21 football next season. Then maybe one day next season, he could make his debut and he could take the Premier League by storm as well. So for me, definitely keep off. If we don't put him in the under-21s, send him out on loan. Mini Messi, Patrick Roberts. Yeah, my favourite player for Sunderland, alongside Trey Hume. It's a definitely keep for me. I don't think he will see a lot of Premier League football next season. He'll be another player to come on and off the bench. For me, he's absolutely outstanding. Obviously, we all know he cannot really shoot. And I think that's a problem what Sunderland fans have with him. He's good at going forward. And that's what he done against Sheffield United. He was brilliant at going forward. And that pass, what he picked out with Eliza Mayenda, was just absolutely sensational. But yeah, for me, it's definitely keep. But yeah, he will be coming on and off the bench. I think next season we will definitely be getting a new winger in. That's what we've been crying out for all season, in my opinion. Obviously, since Jack Clark's left, we haven't really found the perfect winger. But yeah, for me, definitely keep. He'll be a good squad rotation kind of player. The thing with Pat Roberts is he's good at going forward. He does not like passing back. He likes to go forward. You can see he gets pissed off every time he does need to pass back, because he just likes to run with the ball. Yeah, I love him. I love him when he's on the ball, but sometimes he just doesn't have that end product. And when he does shoot, he just shoots it to the corner flag or something like that. That's why I don't think he ever shoots. I've never ever seen him shoot hardly in my life. But yeah, he's got 7 assists to his name. It's not too bad, but he just needs to work on his shooting, really. If he works on his shooting and he's scoring goals, honestly, we've got a 10-15 million pound player right there. Ian Paveda, yeah, it's a sell. Yeah, he hasn't been that good. He's been injured most of the season too, and it just has not worked out for him whatsoever. So I think next season we will let him go on a free transfer, in my opinion. I think he is a good Championship player, in my opinion. But it hasn't really worked out for him at Sunderland. He hasn't seen much game time. He's been injured a lot. So, yeah, for me, yeah, we should just get rid of him. Just clear up the wage bill. Same again, like probably most of the players in the squad who doesn't really get much game time. But yeah, if we don't get rid of him though, he might be a good bench player. I do not think you will see any Premier League football next season, if I tell you the truth. Obviously, Ian Poveda is another centre-attacking midfield type player. Obviously, Job, Enzo and Chris Rigg do get ahead of him. So, yeah, for me, definitely sell, but good luck to him in the future. To my end, no questions asked. It's a definitely keep for me. Yeah, this season he's been absolute sensation. He's scary on the ball. He got that goal against Sheffield United. He's probably the best player on the pitch against Sheffield United, in my opinion. He's just so scary to go ahead. Honestly, my stepdad's a Newcastle fan, and he even said, you know what, I would take him at Newcastle because he's just got everything about him. He's got pace. He's scary every time he's on the ball. The problem is with my end that he hasn't got a left foot. That's the only problem with me. He hasn't got a left foot. But when he does shoot though, he can score. I don't know about him. He's just absolute sensational player, and I think he has got a really good future ahead of him. I think next season he'll be a first team striker for me. He will get ahead of Isidore easily. But yeah, for me, definitely keep. But yeah, we'll just see how he does next season in the Premier League. Maybe he will flop in the Premier League because that's what some strikers do. They can do it in the Championship, but they normally can't do it in the Premier League because there is a bigger difference. There's a much bigger difference between Championship football and Premier League football. So yeah, I really do hope he does really well though. But yeah, for me, it's definitely a keep. There's no questions asked about it. Romain Mundle, another player, same again. He's just like Eliza Mayenda. He's just so scary when he goes ahead of people, and that's why Sheffield United, like in the playoffs, had literally double on him every time. Yeah, for me, definitely keep. Personally, I would send him on loan. I don't think he's going to have the rhythm of play in the Premier League next season. If we do send him out on loan though, and give him that little bit of experience. Obviously, this season he's took his position really well. He has been injured for a little bit this season though. So yeah, for me, he's scary when he goes up the pitch. He's took ever since Jack Clark left, he's took his position really well. And yeah, for me, I think he would be a good backup winger in my opinion. I don't think he will see a lot of Premier League action next season. Maybe he will. Maybe he'll be absolutely brilliant because like I said, when he goes up against people, when he's trying to beat them, he does get past them. His pace is just absolutely unbelievable. He's scary when he runs with the ball. You just don't know what's going to happen with him. Normally he curves in, or sometimes he'll just go for the shot. Honestly, he's just too unpredictable. That for me, I would definitely keep him. If I send him out on loan, I'll just keep him as like a backup winger. Because obviously next season we will be getting players in what will take probably his position. Nathan Bishop, he is currently on loan right now at Cambridge. A lot of positive things said about the lad, but I just don't think he will get in ahead of Anthony Patterson. I'd keep him though. I would definitely keep him. He might become a second option goalkeeper when Simon Ward does leave. There's been a lot of things positive talked about him. Apparently he's been sensational for Cambridge this season, so I really do hope the lad does really well, and maybe one day you might get ahead of Anthony Patterson. Obviously Patterson has made mistakes this season, but yeah, the saves what he has pulled off has been sensational, so I don't think Patterson will be losing his place anytime soon unless he does get injured. So for me, I'd definitely keep him, but he would become a second choice goalkeeper. But that's it. That's who I would personally sell or keep at the club ahead of obviously the Premier League season coming up. Obviously, we all know obviously we will be signing a lot more players. I think we do definitely need a new winger, or maybe one or two more wingers. I think Mundle will be a good backup winger alongside Patrick Roberts. I think Patrick Roberts and Mundle are great going forward, but they just cannot really find the net. And obviously in the Premier League, we do need a winger to score goals and provide assists. I think the problem with Roberts is, like I've just said there, he's just got no end product. He's brilliant on the ball. He's one of my favourite players at Sunderland alongside Trey Hume. Them two, they are my favourite players. Yeah, but like I said, one or two more wingers, and obviously Patrick Roberts and Mundle will be a good backup, because I do really think Patrick Roberts will do really well next season. He just loves going forward with the ball. There's just something about him what. He just doesn't like to pass back. He just always likes to go forward, and that's what he done against Sheffield United. He didn't pass back. He found the space to Eliza Mayenda. He passed it. He got the ball up, and that's how we won. and that's realistically how we won, because as soon as he came on, we just knew that something good was going to happen. But I do feel like he's been getting a lot of stick lately off the Sunderland fans. But obviously, I think the problem with Sunderland fans is like we like to criticise like players after 1 or 2 games. It's the same with Samed. He only played 1 or 2 games, and the stick what he was getting straight away was absolutely unbelievable. I just could not believe it. But yeah, like I said, another thing, midfield. I think Dan Neil proved that he won't be good enough for the Premier League next season. He will be a good backup maybe, but obviously he is club captain, so I am expecting him to start some Premier League games. But I think like obviously if he kind of do it, he will be placed on the bench and just obviously coming on and off the bench. So he will be a good squad player. Think seeing the same again. I think Trey Hume, he's going to be the best player for Sunderland next season. There's no question about it. This season he's been the best player, I think. And I think next season, I think he'll take the Premier League by storm as well. I think if we do get relegated back to the Championship next season, I think a newly promoted club who will be going up the following season, so like a Leicester City or maybe even a Sheffield United, if they do go up, or Coventry City will go ahead and get them. So yeah, that's about it from me. Make sure you all stay safe, and obviously what happened in Liverpool after that, that was just unbelievable what I heard yesterday about Liverpool, in what happened in Liverpool yesterday about that man running over, I think, 27 to 30 people. Yeah, I hope you all stay safe. Make sure to go down, hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you all in the next one. Until then, stay safe.